Welcome to the fifth video of this tutorial series. So basically in this I'll be covering about the different modes of the scales, and along with that I'll tell you some chords as well, which I basically missed in the last videos. So let's begin with the modes. Now, what are modes? Well, modes are nothing but they are a way of playing a same scale in different manner, and they basically add flavor to the scale. So, well, it's like we have about basically seven types of modes. Basically, they are known as Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. So it's a little complicated topic basically. So let's get it in a easier manner. So let's for this we start again. We start with a C scale, a C major scale. So when you play a C major scale, just a C major, that is, so in this case, the C, from this C to this C, when we move using a C formula, that this is known as Ionian mode of C, right? Now, to do the Dorian mode, we just use a C formula only, and we move from this D to this D, but using the C formula. So what happens is change in flavor is like a slight change in the way the C sounds and the way the C sound when we move from this D to this D. Well, that is known as a Dorian mode. Now, similarly, if you move from this E to E, you'll find a Phrygian mode. Then from F to F, it will be a Lydian. Similarly, from G to G, it will be a Mixo. From A to A, it will be a Aeolian. And from B to B, it will be a Locrian mode, right? So, well, that's basic about it, right? But one thing that is very important to see here is that using the C, when we play from this to this C, we get an Ionian for C, right? But when we're doing from this D to this D, using the C, we are getting a Dorian for D. So, well, that is something that is a little different. Don't get confused that we are doing from this D to this D and we are getting a Dorian for C. No, that's not the case. We're getting a Dorian for D. So if you want to get a Dorian for basically C, how are we going to get it, right? So it's a simple thing. Basically, we can see that modes are like from C, it's an Ionian. Then when you go to D, Dorian, this is the second degree note. And then E, that's a Phrygian, it's a third degree. Lydian is a fourth. And then Mixolydian is a fifth. Like that, it goes on. So, well, the Dorian is the second degree, right? So if you want to play the Dorian for C, right? So to find a scale in which C is coming as a second degree, right? So basically, if you want a Dorian for your C, right? If you want to play a Dorian for C, so basically we can see that when we are playing the Dorian for D, we are following the C, right? We are following the C formula. So the D is basically one step ahead of the basically you can say the scale that we are using to play the Dorian, right? So if you want to use C as a Dorian, then we have to move one step backward to trace the scale using which we can play a Dorian for C basically. So from here we can see that we move one step backward, we find that this is basically the B flat, or you can say a A sharp scale. So a A sharp scale goes like this. So basically, using this formula of A sharp, we can go from this to this to play basically Dorian for C. So how we go is something like this basically, then something like that. So this time what we play is like this is your basically a Dorian mode for a C. So you can call this a C Dorian. So like this you can try a lot of combinations out of this to play. Basically you can play F, you can play anything of this C. You can play a C Ionian, you can play a C Dorian, a C Phrygian, a C Lydian, a C Mixolydian, a C Locrian, a C Aeolian, something like that. But you have to just trace out which basically scale using this degree, because D was like a second degree Dorian, then a third degree the Phrygian, like that kind of stuff. Now basically the chord that I was about to tell is a very simple chord, and it's very common as well. It's called a power chord. Now what is a power chord? See, we know how to play a triad. We play a triad like this, a C triad, right? So when we remove this note, the center note, and you just play these notes, only the basically the first and the third note of the triad, then that is known as a power chord. or basically a C5, basically as a C, that's called a C5, or you can call it a 5 chord as well. So this is a C5, and it sounds louder basically. Similarly, if you play your E chord, so you remove this, then this is your E5 chord or E power chord. And it sounds louder, it's basically used in distortion and stuff like that. So well, that's all for this video. In the next video, I'll be covering some of the staff notations, how to read the staff notation, etc. And then see you in the next video.